Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button if you would like to see further videos that I might do in the future, which is, at least 2 a month. Actually, no, at least 6 a month at the minimum. So welcome. It's lovely to connect with you today. This is our Patreon personal healing event for June. This is for some of my patrons, those who pledge $50 or more for June 2022. Thank you so much. You guys are on my list, and I have 4 people on my list today. Now, I've put you in this little poa shell from New Zealand. Hi, Andrea. Welcome. So I've got you in here with your names, and I'm going to pull your names out and then connect with you in that order, if you like. Good morning, Jane. Yes, I'm sure you can receive a lot from these. Thanks, Jane, and welcome everybody. So the plan, what I'm going to be doing is I'll be pulling the 4 people out of this shell. Feels very protective, this shell today. Pulling you out of the shell, and then I'm going to connect. So what I will do to begin with is pull a healing energy card. So I'll pull one of these for you. I might talk about it in depth, I may not, but I'll have that there. And then I'm going to tune into your energy. So what's loudest in your vibration, so what's loudest in your energy field is going to get my attention first. And then I will talk through and do whatever we need to do at the time. I don't have a list or any sort of pre-connection that I've done. I find it really helpful for me. The way I like to work is to just flow with it. So I don't have any expectations. I don't know at all what we're going to do. I'm just going to trust what I'm feeling and what's loudest at the time. Then we'll move through the energy, depending on what's revealed and what needs to be done. I will decide as I go the things that make sense to me. So I'll be connecting with each person for around 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'll pull a healing energy card again to finalize that connection. It will just be to sort of close it up, end that segment or that connection, and then I'll move to the next person. Now, if you are waiting for your turn, or you happen to be here because you've got the time and it feels good to be here, then you can trust that some things that I'm talking about or that come up for other people can be messages and information and guidance and help and healing and support that you might need at this time. So if I was sitting and waiting for my name to be called, or I happen to be here, my name's not on the list, but I'm here anyway, then what I would be doing is I'd be listening with my ears to the things that really stand out and speak to me personally, the things that seem like that's just for me. It could be a word, it could be a sentence, it could be a part. And I'll also be listening with my body. So our body is a very sensitive, highly sensitive, finely in tune instrument, and we can trust in what it feels. So I'd be listening to my body too, in regards to aches or pains that rise or fall, waves of emotion, or just strange things that are happening in my body as I'm listening and connecting. And then you can work through whatever comes up for you. You may want to have your journal handy and make some notes with the things that really stand out and speak to you at this time. If there are things, and there will be things that don't resonate with you, that don't personally speak to you, just forget about those ones. Take some big breaths and just enjoy the connection and really pay attention to the things that you need, because I'm sure that it is no accident that you happen to be here, and I trust that something shared will support you at this time. So let's get focused. So it's really important to me that I feel comfortable where I am. So I have to have everything that I need on hand, which is not that much. And I'm a bit, I don't know, I think I might be getting a bit of a cold. So I've got some tissues handy in case I sneeze or something. I don't know, something's shifting in my body since last night. But I'm feeling good being here. It certainly wasn't enough to be changing the time or anything. So the first person I'll be connecting with on our list today is this person, and it's Susan Sonsteng. Susan, please take a nice big breath. And everyone who's open to receiving during this time we spend together today. Okay, we have a card that's jumped out, which I don't really care about. I've taken note. If that card happens to come up again, then I'll pay extra attention to that, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so Susan, the best healing energy card that you need in this moment of connection is this here. And it's this Ancestral Inspiration, card 4. It's in the action category, and down here it says healing through the bloodline and the family. Embrace what you can of the past and let the rest go. Changes in the family. And I really like this sentence. You are your own person. And so this may be especially connected with who we think we are based on our family, or who we think our family thinks we are, these types of things. This card is really empowering us, and I feel it's coming from the whale actually, that we are our own person. So Susan, especially, you are your own person. So are you owning, welcoming that? Are you discovering that? Because it is something too that we're discovering as things happen in life that test and poke and prod us. We can figure out who we are. Okay, Susan, take a nice big breath and let's see what's loudest in your vibration. Okay, so I don't know what these things are called, but I'm going to call it a hammer. But one of those things that the judges use when they say order, order, or whatever, and they bang that little wooden hammer, whatever that's called. That's what I'm seeing. It's really big. So it's about the width of your body, the width of your chest, a bit shorter perhaps than the width of your shoulders. And it seems to be banging down here on your heart. So it's like your heart is the table, and we've got this hammer banging down, and like all I can hear in my mind, in my with my intuition, is order, 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 and it's coming into the heart. And as I'm saying this, the gavel, thank you, whoever that was, I can't see now, the comment vanished, but thank you, the gavel, I think. I can feel things like every time it bangs down, order, order, and it seems to be repeating this, it seems to be clicking things into place, into order in your heart. It's like if you could click your fingers, say we were Mary Poppins, we were cleaning up the room, we could click our fingers and all the papers that were spread out everywhere just came into order. So I feel this order, this scattered kind of messy energy that's coming into order with every bang down or tap of this gavel down here in your heart. It's bringing the papers together. It's bringing things in order in your heart. And this feels important, this sense of order in your heart. So, and it feels big. So it feels like your heart area is really big as these papers and these energies coming together into order. So the last taps of this gavel come down on the top of this pile of, well, it was papers before, but now it feels like books. It feels like a bunch of books now, all really neatly in order. Different coloured velvet books, like a darker green, a darker red, a darker mustardy yellow, as well as a dark grey, coming together here in order. So now this gavel leaves this space. It doesn't need to be here. And we have this order here, this nice stack of books, this nice stack of papers, very square as well. So very square, very neat here in your heart. And with this energy, I'm feeling I'm drawn down to the bottom, the very bottom part. So almost the tabletop from before that was kind of calling all this into order. It's like a magnet, I guess, calling all these things together here in your heart. Under that, so I guess it's like the table or the surface where this energy was gathering and ordering itself. Under here, there's like a little hatch or a little hole, but it feels like now it's the bottom of the floor, and there's a little hatch in the floor, like a little door that I feel like I want to lift and go down under the heart. So down into those lower parts, into your solar plexus, maybe into your sacral chakra, maybe into your base chakra. But as we open this door, so the stack of books is, I feel it's still there, but we're kind of, the scene has shifted and it's now like a floor. So we're going into this hatch in the floor, and it looks like ladder or steps that come down into the darkness here, down beyond your heart, and maybe even deep into your heart here, Susan. So moving down this ladder, climbing down, so feet first, with our body towards the wall, the back on the outer open part, and climbing down into this dark space inside. And here, as we get to the bottom of the floor in this other compartment, it's like the floor is on fire. So there's like a bed or a carpet of flame here on the ground. And there seems to be no fear, because I feel like I feel like you and I are moving down to this sort of carpet of fire, and we stand in here. And as you stand here, I see the flames start picking up around your body, and especially around your feet and ankles here to begin with, and are burning away all of this old stuff. Now, because you've got the ancestral inspiration card, it feels like especially family stuff connected with your bloodline, but also things from your past that you've been holding on to and finding it really difficult to sort of shift out of. It's almost like the fire is burning away the mud that you've been stuck in, the mud that has seized you up and has stopped you in some ways from being able to fully move forward because of the ties and the connections and the burdens that you carry, maybe even memories that you carry from your past. So letting these flames, they don't feel painful, or, I don't see you screaming here, but I feel almost like they're a comfort, like they're warm and sort of licking and dancing up around your feet and around your ankles and the lower parts of your legs. But the flames feel comforting, they feel healing, they feel supportive and warm. So as the old stuff is burned away, the flames start growing in size. They become more elongated as they make their way up your legs. So up your lower parts of your legs, your knees, and all the way up to your hips, now just burning up in this flame. But it's comforting, it's warm, it's nourishing, it's healing, it's transformative. And now this flame burns up, so it's not quite so elongated as it was coming up your legs. So it's a bit shorter now as it wisps up and starts to spiral up around your pelvis, around your hips. So burning in a circular sort of spiral motion around here, flicks of flame and sparks just burning up all this stuff that you've been storing in here in your pelvis. So this area, feel like the cavity in here with your hips and your pelvis is really burning up too on the inside. So burning up all this old past stuff that you're ready to let go of. And now it comes together at your spine and burns up through your spine now, through your center, and flicks out into your organs and the parts of your skin and outside of your skin. So it's coming up through this center channel, at least for now, of your spine, burning away all that stuff you've been holding on to deep, deep, deep inside you. So that stuff that's really deeply, in some ways, hidden on the inside through your spine is burning up. And now the flames elongate again up through your spine and sort of dance out into your body. So moving all the way up your spine, through your chest, up to your throat, and up into your head, where it forms this ball of fire here. So this ball of fire just ignites here at your head and burns away all this stuff on the inside, and then flicks out like hair or aura or smoke or flames coming out from your head and out into your mind energy. Also, it flicks out over your shoulders, burning away your burdens that you've been carrying, and flows down your arms. So flowing down your arms, like through your bones, it feels like, and down to your fingertips and circulating in here at your palms, where we get like this mass of fire. It's not quite a ball, but it's quite thick, I suppose, a bit ball-like, but like the ball is spinning. So these two balls here of fire here in your palms, and these are activating a lot of energy here in your palms, your healing hands, we could say, but also healing within you. So holding these flames here in your hand and then bringing them together into one big ball of fire. And with this ball of fire, this is everything you've accumulated and collected, but especially mentally, it feels like. So it's gathering, it's building, it's getting hotter, it's starting to burn, it's getting brighter here as you gather this ball and you throw it down to the earth and let go. Let go of all of that stuff that you've been accumulating within yourself, and just letting it go and letting it go to the earth where it returns back to love. Your hands are really tingling here with tingles, tingling here with energy and a lightness as well. And your head, so as the head area here in your mind, as all that burns up and burns away, and we've just burned these books, I've just realised. That this order that we've just been gathering before and all these papers we've been drawing in to create this stack of books, that's actually ignited and burned away. So there's some order that's been coming in that may be, sometimes there's a fine line between a healthy kind of order, and that's shifted energy in the throat, a healthy order and a controlling kind of order that we're trying to control things. So it feels like the order and the unhealthy parts of that order have also been burned away in the flame. So as that all burns away now at the top of your head and the rest of your body, the flames just burn out. They burn out, they burn away. And now you're left tingly. And in some ways, I don't know if empty is quite the right word, but there is this void, this space, this room that's been created inside you, and the sun's coming out now as well. So let's grab a card just to see what that wants to add. It reminds me of that rebirth card with the fire and the burning away, and that carpet of fire. So that rebirth, releasing, to release is to rebirth. So the space has been created now, and you're now ready to, I guess, it's probably be your own person and figure out who that is on a deeper and a more fuller, whole level. So Susan, to add here is this support. So this is support protection card 50. And it's about through support comes great protection and assistance and a reminder that you are never alone. Love, strength and stamina. So all the energies are gathering together now to support you and protect you. So it's a bit like the masculine energy. And I'm not talking about masculine, feminine in society, but just the masculine and feminine within. And I see that masculine energy, the support of the masculine being quite protective support, a bit like the inner father protecting and supporting the inner child, where I would see a more feminine, maybe inner mother perspective as being the support being more of a nurturing, patient support, whereas the masculine, like the inner father, comes in as a protective support. So there's a protective support coming in around you, Susan. So thank you so much. I trust this resonates, and thank you so much for your support and allowing me to connect with you. Okay, let's pop these cards back and let's see who is next. Who's next today? Hopefully my necklace isn't hitting my microphone. Next person is this person. It's Carol White. So Carol, please take a nice big breath and let's see which cards you need today to start this connection. Okay, I'm feeling a lot of energy moving at the back of your heart, back of your shoulder blades. So it's really stretching on the horizontal through here. But let's just pause that for a second. We'll grab this card and see what this wants to add. So this is one of the new cards, 92. It's called Dedicated Focus, and it's in the depth category. It says, be consistent, remain dedicated, give it your fullest attention, be mentally focused, you are capable, believe in yourself, and have a go. Interesting. Okay, so it's very much about focus. All right, so as I tune into your body, Carol, I still feel this pulling across like on a horizontal level at the back of your heart. And it feels like elastic or something that's stretching through here. It's quite wide, like a stretching band through the back of your heart. So it's really stretching through here and it feels almost at breaking point. You know, where we stretch and stretch and stretch elastic, and then it just seems to start breaking in places before it fully snaps sometimes. But that's how it's appearing to me. So it's wide. It's almost like an exercise band, actually, that's quite wide that you're pulling here. So it's starting to break. It's starting to buckle. It feels like some tension has been going on for a while that's not really had a lot of time to say relax and not be stretched. So this stretched out tension, especially around this back area, is we could say is taking its toll, and it's starting to break down. It's starting to weather. It's starting to be worn out, exhausted, questioning, you know, is this right for me? Is this healthy for me now? I feel like I want to cut this band, because it feels flat. It feels like it goes across the back there, and I just want to get a pair of scissors and just snip this off and create a new way of dealing with what you're dealing with. So it's not creating or keeping this tension that's there that's just going to end up breaking you. So cutting it up the middle, grabbing both sides of this elastic and dropping it down to the earth where it returns back to love. And here at the back of your heart, it feels all scratched up. You know, like if we had an itch and we scratch, and it just all really scratched up. So it feels very scratched up back here, and it feels very tender and a little bit swollen as well. It's a very tender and, yeah, quite sore through here. So my spiritual surgeon, Marion, he comes forward here on my right, and he steps forward behind you, and he starts rubbing. He's got something on his hands, like a cream that feels like it's got bits of glittery silver, so some silver like fragments or particles in it, or actually they're bits of starlight like glitter that he's got on this cream that he's been rubbing his hands together with, and he's spreading this across your back. So across the upper back, all the way up to just the back here of the top of your shoulders and down to the lower part of the back of your rib cage. And he spreads it right across, just across the top of your arms here, and just slightly round under your arms a little bit too. Spreads it across. The cream's very white with this starlight in it, starlight dust like glitter, and he's layering this on pretty thick. So your skin, this area here, soaks up this energy and uses it to help it heal and mend through here. This sensitivity that you've been feeling, this tension that you've been feeling, where you're almost too often at breaking point. So instead of it being sort of dangling there as I'm almost at breaking point, I feel we just cut that off and just deal with this now, so you don't have that sort of fine line that you're walking. It's a bit like walking on the edge of a knife blade. Okay, so this area is feeling really nice. My spiritual surgeon steps back and steps away, and I just offer him thanks on behalf of myself and for you. And now we're drawn here around to the front of your body, so around to your belly, and the energy's getting, feels quite gentle here, a little bit slower. I'll just tune in here to the back, that area we've just worked on. It feels very tingling, and like that healing cream is soaking up into your skin, and it might do that over the next few days. And down here to your belly, it feels quite sensitive, quite exposed perhaps, a little vulnerable in here. So down, this is now from your solar plexus chakra, just above your navel, down to the top of your pubic bone. So through there feels very, very sensitive, a little bit bloated as well. And there's energy that's pulling from this sensitivity here in your belly, is pulling also on your hips. So it feels like your emotions are very strong right now, and they're affecting the direction you want to go, where you want to go in life, because they're pulling on your hips, almost like your emotions are really leading the way at the moment. So I just want to calm this energy down, and I feel almost like your belly feels pregnant. It wants to birth new things, and emotionally you want some new experiences. So this is pulling on your hips and wanting you to go in a new direction and move elsewhere in your life. And I feel like I want to just bring your hands in over your belly, like if you were quite fully pregnant, with the preparing to birth new things, and just calm this area down, because it feels like this area just wants to settle. It wants to settle, and as your hands are on your belly, it just sort of reduces that pregnancy feeling here in your belly, and just draws that energy in and draws it back down to your sacral chakra. So it feels like you're emotionally maybe a little bit raw and vulnerable and a bit sensitive, maybe a little overly sensitive at the moment. So just calming this energy down and letting your hands sit here comfortably on your belly, and then moving them around to your hips, just to calm your hips down so you don't act or make changes from an emotional place, from a too emotional, overly emotional place. So just calming and stabilizing those emotions in here, and your hips unsettledness, your hips desire to want to move based on that strong emotional energy, just letting that all settle down too. So this feels like it's calming down here in your belly. And now bringing the energy down your legs and down to your feet to help ground you, to help ground and stabilize you in the present moment, to do what you can in the here and now, and try not to get too ahead of yourself or out of this present moment, that's what it felt like your emotions were wanting to do, to pull you forward into the future, because you're not happy or 100% happy with where you are now. And it's understandable with that tension as well, that I feel that seem to be almost at breaking point. So calming you down emotionally should also help you be able to sort of stop and smell the roses and notice the blessings that you do have around you now in your life. And yes, you have emotional pulls to move forward in the future, but have them less trying to pull you out of where you are now, because that's really, that knocks us out of balance straight away. So I trust that resonates. Carol, let's grab a card here and see what it wants to add at this point. So nice big breath, and we'll see which card you need at this point. The best healing energy card is this one here. Oh, recenter. Oh, this is quite perfect actually, card 16. It's depth, in the depth category. Down here it says let go and allow flow. Now what I would feel here, based on what we've done, let go of the tension that you feel, or the pressure that you feel that you're under, that's almost taking you to breaking point. Also let go, if you can, of that strong, unhealthy in some ways, emotional pull that's trying to pull you out of your current setting and out of your current space and out of your body. So let go and allow flow. So flowing from that powerful position of being in the present moment. It says step into alignment with the flow. Move with your natural rhythm. Avoid swimming upstream against the flow. Stand upright. Interesting that this figure, you probably can't really tell much from this illustration, but she's got a big pregnant belly. So she's full of new beginnings, and you can still hold in the seeds of the new beginnings and let them grow, let them prepare to manifest within you, Carol. But be careful that you're not letting your over emotions, those strong raw emotions, pull you forward and out of balance. So recenter is your card there. Thank you so much, Carol. Thanks for your support, and I trust this resonates with you. Namaste. Okay, let's have a little drink. How are you all doing? We've got 2 more people left. If you would love to be a part of this next month, please have a look on my Patreon link, which is in this video description. And at the $50 level or higher for next month, then you can be included in the July personal healing event. You can stay for as long as you want. You can just come for one. Some people come for their birthday month, for example, or if they've got a lot of stuff going on and maybe you want some support to help shift some things. So you can stay for as long or as short of a time as you want. It's up to you, but that is an option if you're interested. Next person is this person. It's KantiDevi. Kanti, take a nice big breath and let's see which card you need to start with today. Okay, so the first thing I'm picking up as I'm starting to tune in is it feels a little difficult to breathe. So it feels like some compression or suppression here that connects with your heart chakra and your ability to breathe and feel life flowing through you somehow. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. We have card 41, Breaking Free. It's in the Rise category, and it says, stretching past your limitations and into new territory. The unknown, breakthrough, move outside the box, keep growing, and rise up. So there is this feeling that I have that something feels like it may have stopped growing or stopped within you. And it feels to me, Kanti, like there's a suppression or a constricting energy that feels like it's coming in around your heart. Almost like, I guess, if your heart, your whole area here, your chest was wrapped really tightly in a bandage and it felt really constricted and really tight. That's what it feels like in here. And it feels like it's quite difficult to breathe. I feel like I'm breathing really shallow breaths as I'm connecting with you here. And it feels constricting. But it feels like inside that bandaged up heart area, it feels like inside this whole area wants to grow. But it can't grow past or further than the tight ties, the bandages that are bounding it or have it bound up. So it's a bit like a tree. If we wrap something around a tree and the tree wants to keep growing, then it's going to grow and bulge out around that area, and it might even end up killing it in the end. So you can't grow past the box or the limitations, these bandages that you've got wrapped around your heart. I can see a dangly bit of bandage here and I want to just pull on it. And as I pull on it, I can feel this whole area start to spin, like it's spinning and letting this bandage go, like your heart area has been mummified, wrapped in those bandages. So as that's pulled, the whole area spins and rotates and lets go of this bandage, this thing that's been bounding and constricting and limiting your heart and your heart's capacity. So how this may be playing out in your life may be your limitations, feeling limited within yourself, feeling unqualified, incapable of doing something that feels really close to your heart. And you know it sits in deeply in your heart because that's where it sits. And your heart wants to grow, it wants to expand, it wants to improve, it wants to lift its vibration, if you like. So your heart is wanting to grow on the inside of this bandage, and it's kind of like it's pushing and trying to get out. So it's squeezing through the little tiny gaps in the bandage, trying to grow, trying to expand. But the limitations, now these could be your own fear, your own insecurities, your own self-doubt. It could be your current situation. So it could be finances, where you are, time that you've got available or not got available. It could be those types of external sort of restrictions too, or limitations on letting your heart grow or allowing your heart to grow and expand. So as I'm talking through here, the last of the bandage is coming off, and it's like, it's weird. It's like you see in the movies where someone's had like a facelift, or they had a face burn or something, and their face was all wrapped up in bandages while it healed. And it's like the bandages have come off, and now we're seeing what was under the surface and how things are healing up from the burn, from burny times in the past, where you may have felt like you've been burned, almost burned alive, but not burned till death, if you like, but burned almost to death. So it feels like this is almost torturous, this feeling here of the past, where you'd been almost kicked and kicked and kicked at until you were almost at the end, but you survived it. So carrying those scars and those wounds and that battered energy, that battered and burned energy here inside your heart. So the bandage, even though it's been limiting you, it's also been helping you heal that damage that you had inside from your past, that burned, battered energy. So the scars have been healing under the bandages. So even though at times you may see that this has been limiting and you just want more and you want to expand, you want to grow, you want to follow your heart, but something's been stopping you, it feels like sometimes we have these forced restrictions without knowing why at the time. I find finances are a great example of this, because we might have this desire and this idea and this thing we want to do, but we might not have a lot of funds in the bank account to fund this expedition or fund this thing we want to build or fund this thing. So we can feel that at the time that our funds, our finances are stopping us, they're restricting us, they're limiting us from doing these things we want to do. But maybe, and I found this in my life, that this reduced or this lack of funds to do these things have actually stopped us, because something better is coming. Because when we do have the funds, then we can really hone in on the thing that we're really serious about, that we've given a lot of thought to or felt a lot on. So even though these have felt restrictive of you, Kanti, on you, it feels they've also been keeping you in place, in position, in a space, ready or preparing for when you are ready. So now these bandages are removed, and it's like we've revealed this healed heart. We can see the scars there that make you who you are from your life experiences. These are all experiences and knowledge and wisdoms that you've gained that have scarred this area, but it's still beautiful. And the thing is that these scars, they're healed wounds. So it's not a gaping, gushing wound bleeding out everywhere. It used to be. That's why it was bandaged up. So now the bandages have supported the healing, and time has helped you heal, and your willingness to explore and face things honestly has helped you heal. And now your heart is blessed. It's uncovered. It's revealing these healed wounds as scars, and they are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And it brings a tear to my eye. I can feel this wave of emotion because of, you can see in these scars just how deeply you were cut and burned and battered in the past, and how much you have overcome is quite, it's quite beautiful and quite inspiring, Kanti. And probably for anyone out there watching, feeling that even within yourself and the scars, those wounds that you have let heal. So there's this feeling of sitting in this energy now and really feeling on now, what do you want in this space where you could really go down any path, any direction right now from your heart. But because the restrictions have been lifted, your scars have been revealed and the wounds aren't fresh and new and gaping and bleeding anymore. It's like now you hold yourself in this space. Let yourself settle into how your heart feels and what you now truly want with restrictions released. So usually when doors are closed and all we want to do is go to that door and try and open it, which is part of the reason why we get restricted through whatever means, finances, as that example I used. But when we have the restrictions freed, and we may have a little bit of funds in the bank or the doors are open all around us, then we actually can choose, really choose and sit in which path we want to walk down. And for you, Kanti, which path do you want to walk down now? So I feel your heart just really gently beating. It's settling, it's integrating, it's not restricted, it's free, it's uncaged, it's untrapped. It's easier to breathe now. So sitting in this energy is what feels like it comes next, and then you will know what you need to do from your heart. So, and don't overthink it, because I'm getting just attention now coming to the mind. Try not to overthink what you want to do now with this free heart. It's like a bird that's been trapped in a cage. And the door's open and the bird's now let out of the cage and it goes and sits on a branch for a while, feeling what it's like to not have these bars and this cage around it. What does it want to do? Where does it want to go? Where does it want to nest? Lots of questions, but lots of potentials, lots of opportunities at the same time. So Kanti, let's see which card wants to be added here for you. And we'll go with this one. Oh, I've written on the back here, I don't know what the card is yet, but I've scribbled on here, a new phase starts. Ah, yes, this is perfect. It's card 110. It's the last card in the whole deck, the two decks. So 110, and it says coming full circle. It's in the rise category as well. And down here, it says the end of an old era and the start of a new era. So we could say the end of an old era where you were probably constricted and you were healing. And you're going to continue to heal. It's not over, but it feels like a lot of the things you've been healing are now scars, are now things that don't require a bandage, let's say. They are healed wounds. So the end of an old era, the start of a new era. Life goes on. Endings are also beginnings. Completion, bittersweet message, and a new phase starts. So this is like a part of you sending out this message. This is a pigeon and it's holding a little tag here that says love. It repeats, love, 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 love. And it's coming out from your heart. This is this bird. This is this bird we've just freed from the cage of your heart. This is the restrictions. It's even carrying this little piece of paper, which reminds me of the bandage we've just literally taken off your heart. And it's carrying it away. It's free. Breaking free, the name of this card now. So it's taking, well, it's letting you take your heart and yourself wherever you choose to take it. Like you have potentials and opportunities now in this unbound, untrapped, unlimited, free heart. So very interesting. Thanks, Kanti. I trust this supports you, and thanks so much for your support. Namaste. Okay, lucky last here. Lucky last is Andrea. So Andrea Stuart, welcome, and please take a nice big breath. And let's see. what you need today. What's loudest in your vibration? Okay, so first of all, I'm feeling a tension that's coming up around the back of your neck and the top of your shoulders here, which is most likely a burden that you're carrying. And already before I pick the card, I just want to pull the shoulders back, pull the head back and drop this burden off like it's just sitting there, like a thick piece of bark that's sitting over there that's got heavier and heavier and wetter. So lots of emotion connected with this too, because it's getting wetter, and just lifting up that upper part of the body and letting that drop away. So letting it run down your back and drop down to the earth where it just returns back to love. Okay, so now we've done that. Let's grab a card for you. Oops, I'm dropping cards here everywhere. So they need a shuffle. We haven't quite got to the right card yet. Okay, Andrea, your best card to start is here. Okay, here. Card 95. It's called Riding the Wave. It's in the rest category here. And down here it says, a wave of chaos and change. Ride it. Do your best. Take a break if needed. The storm always passes. Take action on the facts and not on assumptions. And flow. So really riding the wave of chaos and change. So interesting. So there's lots going on and lots coming in and lots moving out and lots coming up and lots back there. So it feels like a lot of stuff. So it's like almost a tsunami that's full of bits of stuff. You know, like those tsunami scenes that we saw from Japan all those years ago, full of debris and old cars and tires and timber and trees, and there's all this like tsunami of stuff that you're trying to plod through is the feeling here. So I can feel this mass all around you. So, okay, let's just bring this back. I just want to bring my attention back to you. So we've shifted this burden here, this heavy, wet bark. So very sodden, very full of emotion that's been burdening you and perhaps even worrying you, we could say. So shifting that off and what that represents off. And as we've shifted that off, it's opened your heart. So your heart feels like it's been sort of closed with this weight, the added weight that's been weighing you down over your shoulders, these burdens and pressures and worries that you've felt here. So with that sort of feeling, it feels like it closed up your heart from the front, almost like your heart was compressed and closed. So now with this gone and this whole back area opening, it's opened up your heart again. So if it was a mouth or an eye, you feel like it was closed, and now it's opening here at your heart. So this is really important because I feel like your heart and reconnecting with this openness of your heart will help be like a lighthouse to help you navigate through this big tsunami of debris and stuff that you've got going on. So let's just tune into that tsunami energy a bit because it's very wet. So it's very watery. It feels like an ocean, a big river, a big swelling of a river after a big rain, but there's lots of debris in there. So this is very emotional energy as well. That's tying in here. There's a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of physical things. So this feels like there's probably a lot of physical stuff that you've got going on around you. So this thing here, that thing there, and there's just like a big chaotic, probably mess in some ways if you stop and think about it. All this physical stuff that you're trying to deal with, that's also very tied up and tangled up and living with your emotions. So everything feels big emotionally and physically at the moment. So this is going on around you. And it's almost like you standing here with your heart open has opened up this void in this watery energy and this I can't even get that word in, so it's already starting to shift in this tsunami sort of wave of energy that's around you. It's like the waters are breaking here and creating a void, a space of like the eye in the storm that you're sitting in. So it's like a break in the weather. And it's all because your heart has come out. So your heart, things are compounded, and as things become more burden and more worrying for you, more stressful, it closes and closes and closes your heart and your light. And it's probably really super exhausting, like it feels exhausting. Like your light has been put under cover or under some shade of some sort, and it feels really exhausting. So I can feel that in you, Andrea. But with this opening, so it's opened your heart, but it's also opened all this area around you. So now you're standing on solid ground in a big open, bright space while the waters and the stormy seas and everything are going on outside of this zone. So we've created a safe, protective zone here for you to stand in and to help you be able to cope and move through the things the physical and emotional things you're dealing with in your life. Now, as we've created this space, I feel like I want to just extend like arms out, like a radiance of this space. It's a bit hard to explain, but let's say your body was this space, this void, and you're stretching your arms out and just calming down all this stuff that's going on around you. So those seas that have been whipped up and all the debris and the physical stuff going on, calming those down. Just calming down these waters on the sides and just letting them calm down. You know, like the wind calming down. So calming down these wild seas and just letting them settle. And now also front and back, letting this energy calm down. So this is where you're going, and also behind you. I can't get there because of the wall, so I'm just going to turn and calm down this energy behind you, where you've walked, the past, and also where you're going. So just letting this energy calm and settle. And you can probably already feel that it feels less whipped up, less intense, and it's calm. So it's now like the seas have calmed down, and we see these floating debris on top of the waters. And I just want to now sweep that debris away. So sweep it away off the waters, and we're clear. Basically, it's like cleaning the waters around you. So sweeping it away and into piles. So it feels like two piles, or at least now. A pile on the outer side on the right and a pile on the outer side on the left. And yeah, so the front is scooped over to the pile, and the back is also scooped over to the pile. So it's like we've just got some machine or something and just scraped away all of the stuff on the top and also underneath of these seas around you. And we've got these two big piles of rubble, lots of wood, and we just need to burn. So clicking fingers, these just light up like two bonfires here, one on the left, one on the right, burning brightly and warming you at the same time. Warming you, protecting you, supporting you, and nurturing you so that you can cope with what you've got going on. So these ignite and burn away and burn to the ground, where they just leave now ash. They burn up very, very quickly. And now the waters feel clean. They don't even feel dirty like they did before, like brown and dirty. They feel clean and calm. So the seas have been calmed around you on the sides and the front and the back. And that coincides with the opening here of your heart. So your heart, like an eye or a mouth, has opened back up and is now like a lighthouse. So your body's like the lighthouse, and the light that comes out of the lighthouse is coming out from your heart and it's beaming ahead right in front of you. So let's just turn square on to being right ahead and not lean too much to the future or lean too much into all the stuff that you've got coming up or all the stuff that you're worried about for the future. Just bringing your body, your shoulders, your hips square on right in front of you. So head straight, shoulders, hips straight. Everything square on, looking ahead. As you take some nice big breaths and let your hearts be the light. So you've got a strong light here, Andrea, and it feels like it's probably been shadowed or covered, like curtains or drapes covering it or closed up for a little while now. So the light inside you is still very strong, even though you've had other things to deal with, and it's probably not something you've really thought about that much. So with your heart nice and open, your light is streaming out like this lighthouse light that's now helping you see the way ahead. And there's something in that too, because I feel like with all this stuff that you've had going on and all this stuff that we've been doing and all the other stuff that hasn't even come up in this healing, I feel like it's been very difficult to see clearly as to where you're going or what's ahead and what your best to do or what your best problem solving thing is in these particular situations. So it feels like it's been quite blinded, or you've been quite blindfolded in your own clarity and your own light and your own confidence in what you need to do next. So this bringing you square on is helping direct your light ahead to help you make the best decisions that you can and really clear and brighten up this path ahead. So your path ahead is dry. The waters seem to be on either side now, like two rivers on either side of your path, and you're walking on solid, dry, firm ground. The waters are there, and I feel like they're going to be a really great gauge as to how things are going in your life and how aligned you are with the flow of your life. But it feels like these are like parallel rivers that represent your movement and your flow in life as well. But for now, I feel you need to walk on the solid ground, the dry ground, there's something solid about it, something sure, something certain. Whereas sometimes if we're in the watery parts of our path, it can feel a little ungrounded, a little unstable. But it feels like the stability is what's needed. So you walking here on the solid ground is important for now, at least. And your path is lined with these rivers, which feel really supportive, actually. I haven't seen a path like this before. So it feels really good right now. And so, okay, your body's now feeling stronger and more upright, really casting itself or projecting or holding itself strongly and firmly ahead, so ahead on your path. Your feet feel like they're grounded in the earth, and now the path that you're walking on, which felt very light, like a light solid ground, like a light gravel or a sandy sort of colour, but firm. It's feeling very red-brown now. So lots of nurturing is coming up too from the earth to support you in the physical and with the physical things that you've got going on. So my suggestion is, from what I feel, is that you do your best to stay clear, stay open in your heart, notice any burdens or the stresses that you've got going on and deal with them as best as you can. If you can't deal with them, if they're not facts and you're jumping to conclusions or you're assuming the worst or this sort of thing, try and let them go. Just deal with the facts as they come up. So when you have a fact, deal with it. When you have a fact, deal with it. You have a lot of experience to be able to deal with these things very well. So that's what I would suggest. Now let's see which healing energy card we're going to add here for you, Andrea. Okay, so your heart feels really nice and open, and it feels like it was very keen to open up and burst open here and really guide you and help you reconnect with your light and with your heart. So the best healing energy card to add is this. Oh, Flowing Free, card 97. It's in the neutral category. And down here it says complete surrender, which in many ways feels like what we've just done, like a really big surrender inside, but especially with the stuff that you've got going on the outside. In surrender, there is peace. Move with each step. So this is go with the flow, go with each step that you're taking. Participate actively in your life. You can trust in the direction that you're going. So the direction you're currently going is straight ahead and following that bright light path that you've illuminated with the beam of your heart, let's say. So that's your current direction that I'm feeling. And you can trust in that direction. Whereas before, you may not have known which direction to go because it was all just a big tsunami of mess and chaos around you, that it's hard to know where your path is or which way's up or which way's down. So we've cleared that path and we've aligned you with yourself and the direction that you're going, which, according to this card, you can trust in that direction now. So flowing free, surrender, trusting in the movement and the flow that you're moving through in your life at this time. So thanks, Andrea. I trust this resonates. And thank you so much for your support. And namaste. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for connecting and all those on my list today. If you have received some healing because you're on my list or you've been connecting and receiving, then I recommend, I've got energy shifting in the throat. I recommend that you listen to your body, be kind and gentle to yourself, and drink lots of water as you let the healing energy settle and find its place in your body and in your life. So if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out through my website at templeofbalance.com.au. And if you want to be a member and become a part of this event next month, it will happen towards the end of July. Thank you so much for connecting. I'm going to go over to Facebook now and do a little healing event video support over there on Temple of Balance if you want to come over. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Andrea. Thanks, Jane. Thanks, everybody. Bye.